Who can provide financing or which banks offer financing? We are often asked whether there are banks that provide financing in individual countries. Yes, there are. First and foremost, these banks are interested in doing so. In fact, the European Union itself provides subsidies and support for banks at the level of interest rates. This means that banks are being incentivized to finance such projects. So that's the first point. And these banks want to finance them because they are familiar with these projects, they analyze the cash flow, and it makes sense to them. Not all banks do this, but certain selected banks are always interested in it. What's important is that besides banks, we have other options. Banks are not the only option. Now, we're not talking about private sources or investors, but rather about foreign funds or funds that generally specialize in the construction of such power plants. One of them is, for example, Finance in Motion, or it could also be a larger bank or a European type bank such as the EBRD, which can provide financing. Or it could even be a Slovak bank, let's say Exim Banka, which can help finance such a project. So it doesn't have to be just a local bank. They can be larger foreign banks or banks specialized for this purpose. They can be investment funds, or it can even be the supplier themselves or subcontractors who often are able to provide financing. For example, more than once we have received offers from panel or technology suppliers themselves offering us a 12-month payment term. Of course, the price is a little bit higher on the market. They make sure to get paid for it, but with a 12-month term, they allow us to postpone the payment for the purchase of the panels or technologies themselves. And the same offer is also made by the EPC contractors themselves, who, from the construction perspective, are able to wait with the invoicing. That means there are always some options for how it can be financed. The first ideal option is, of course, the bank. And if the bank cannot give us conditions that are sufficiently attractive for us, we look elsewhere.